Joining me now, Texas Congressman Pat Fallon, who sat on that panel and listened to this nonsense for the last couple of days. Pat, lies. I'm sorry, I served. I was always taught to respect the office of the presidency and respect our commanders like these generals, but I can't take this anymore. I'm not going to sit here and say, okay, I know military mistakes are made and this happens in war, but these are lies. And I think they wanted to cover it up, it sounded like to me, until they knew they couldn't cover it up.
Well, you know, Dan, that's the thing. The cover-up's always worse than the crime. And we have to leave it up to the American media to let the American people know that that was a bad strike. And then Milley said, I asked him, I pressed him, and I said, 5 or 6 hours later, you knew that civilians were killed. You knew people that shouldn't have been killed were. And you dared 3 days later double down and said it was a righteous strike. I mean, that's a dereliction of duty.
Yeah. How can they? Okay. So, big time liberals, and I don't mean politics, I mean citizens. Love everybody, love your neighbor, let everybody in, open borders. Wouldn't you be so upset that we used our military complex to kill 10 innocent Afghanis, 7 of them children? And wouldn't you be just so pissed off that these generals for days kept claiming it was a righteous strike? Where are people screaming at the rooftops? These guys need to resign. Some of them might need to be court-martialed. I mean, come on. And then let's talk about the top guy who lied to the American people, Joe Biden. All 3 of these gentlemen under oath, which we know they're lying about stuff, but I'll go with this one. All 3 of them said they told him to leave troops behind after withdrawal. He, in that interview with George Stephanopoulos, said, I was never told that.
No, listen, I mean, we knew, because I had talked to John Ratcliffe, my predecessor and the former Director of National Intelligence, and Mike Pompeo, the former Secretary of State. They all said that we could have held Bagram and Kabul airport and the embassy with 2,500 troops. And Milley, when he worked under Trump, wanted to keep it at about 4,000 to 4,500 troops. He didn't want to go down to 2,500. But Joe Biden would have the American people believe that Milley suddenly wanted to go down to 650. They didn't. He either misremembered, couldn't remember, or he's lying. And this, when I say he, Joe Biden. Because the military made it clear to hold Bagram, we need at least a level of 2,500. And Biden backed the Secretary of State, his play to drop it to 650. And guess what happened then, Dan? 5,000 scumbag criminal terrorists that were being held at Bagram, you know, had basically a jailbreak. They got to walk out of jail, 5,000 of them. So I further asked them yesterday, can you guarantee the American people that one of those or a few of those 5,000 weren't directly responsible for the 13 American service members that were lost at Abbey Gate? And every one of them said they could not guarantee the American people that.
Yeah, I heard that one. Thank you for trying to hold their feet to the fire. I guess my next question, Pat, would be, what, if anything, since the Democrats are in control of the House and the White House, and pretty much the Senate, if it needs an even vote, right, with Kamala being the deciding vote, will anything happen from these hearings? Because I think if any of the American people actually took the time to watch these and then just read a damn headline, they would be outraged, no matter their politics. So what will come of this? Are we going to have to wait until, hopefully, we take back the House and Senate in the midterms and then prosecute these people? Was this just for show?
Yeah. No, it's not for show, and it's a great question, Dan. It's a fair one. There were some Democrats on the committee. There's 59 members on the committee, 31 Democrats and 20 Republicans. Some Democrats actually asked tough questions. Many were just covering for Milley, and that's the problem with Milley. Okay, the military is supposed to be apolitical. He's supposed to be America's general, like Schwarzkopf was, and Eisenhower, and Pershing, and a whole long list. He's not. He's already failed at his greatest and most. You're a service member. A former, you served, his sacrosanct duty is to be apolitical. He is now the Democrats' general. They were throwing him so many softballs, and Republicans, we don't trust him. So guess what? You should resign on that basis and that basis alone. So I think there's a lot of value in getting them on the record because they are testifying under oath and informing the American people so they don't just have the Biden mainstream media narrative of what's going on in Afghanistan, on the border, et cetera. And so I think there will be a political price to pay for the Democrats. But also, we have them on the record now, Dan. And when we do take over the House, then you'll see investigations and you'll see true oversight and true transparency.
I hope to God. I hope so, Pat. And you brought it up there. It is good to at least get them on the record. And some of the mainstream media, a lot of them did have the little banners up all day saying all three generals, you know, are contradicting what Biden said. So it makes Biden look like the big liar, which we all know he is, but a lot of folks out there don't, because they watch the lamestream media. We got to turn to immigration, because we kicked off with that, Pat, and that's in your home state. That's all we've been seeing is Del Rio, Texas. It looks like that port of entry is going to get busier. As we heard, you heard the lead up here to your interview. Panama is telling us 60,000 more are on their way. I know your governor's trying to do stuff, but what can be done outside of Joe Biden and the debacle they're doing to get a handle on this and turn the spigot off?
What President Trump did was he took a flood of illegal immigrants, mass unlawful migration, and he reduced it to a trickle with good policies. When you know, if you're you're somewhere you have an intent to come to the United States, whether it's South America, Central America, wherever in the world, and you know that if you make that perilous and dangerous and long and expensive journey, and just to get turned away at the border with President Trump's wait in Mexico policy, well, guess what? You may not make the journey in the first place. And that's the safest and best thing for everyone. And now, but what Joe Biden says is, and they lied to us about that too. Roughly 14,000 Haitian illegal immigrants. They made a big show, a big dog and pony show, Biden did, of getting a few flights and repadding a few of them, maybe a couple hundred, 1,000. They won't tell us the exact number.
Yeah.
But then they let 12,000 in. So, Dan, then you're going to get 60,000. And then after the 60,000 get in, you're going to get 600,000. This is unsustainable. And I can't believe I'm agreeing with Barack Obama. He is right. We do need to secure the border and end this thing.
Yeah. How about ABC, though, in the original airing, omitted that part of the interview? I mean, this is what kills me, Pat, after being in this industry for 20-some years, and I have a lot of friends that are still doing it, working in Los Angeles, New York, big markets that are liberal reporters, and I'll message them and go, how can you cover for this stuff? How can you go along with this? You see the lies that are being told every day. You see major networks omitting things to make one side look better than the other. That's not journalism. They're as crooked as these damn politicians you got to work with every day on the left. I can't stand it anymore, Pat. I'm about to lose it. We're out of time. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate it, as always. Got your back. Come on anytime.
Dan, you're a great American. Thank you, brother.
I'm just telling it like it is, man.